One of my favorite things to do is going through the comments on YouTube and finding patterns, finding what people care about, what are their biggest struggles and their biggest challenges. So I started posting long format YouTube videos beginning of January, and I used a YouTube analytics tool to analyze all of the comments I've been getting the past 3 months. And I found something interesting. There are 4 key pain points that are keep coming over and over. Number 1, oil selection overwhelm plus ingredient cost. Basically, when you have so many different choices, you don't know which oil, which ingredients to use, and you end up spending a lot of money and time in things that are not really valuable. Number 2, anything related to scent. Like, how do I make my scent more long-lasting, which essential oils to use, which fragrance oils to use, and so on. Number 3, trace acceleration. How do I avoid trace acceleration? Number 4 is curing time and insulation. How long should I cure my soap, when to insulate and when not to insulate my soap butter. So today we are breaking down each pain point and we're gonna find out what is it that actually causes each one of these and the framework for solving it. In case we haven't met before, my name is Perry. I have a background in chemical engineering and a master's in biotechnology, and I've been working in the biotech industry focusing on skincare ingredients for the past 5 years. And there's one thing I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with understanding formulation and making your own skincare at home with the least ingredients possible. And if it's your first time watching these videos, I have a free PDF recipe that includes a balanced soap making recipe made with castor oil, shea butter, coconut oil and olive oil, and it also includes an amazing long-lasting scent. If you want this, comment soap and I will send to you as soon as I see your comment. Let's get down to this video. Pain point number 1. I don't know which oils to use. There are too many options and it's very expensive. I can really relate to that. When I was starting out soap making, I wasted a lot of money buying many different oils and tested all of them. I realized that you don't need expensive, fancy, luxury oils to make a great soap. You just need to understand the properties of each oil. So comments like, can I use canola oil instead of olive oil? I bought avocado oil, but it's so expensive. Is it worth it? Which oils are actually necessary? I spent $80 on oils and my soap has dreaded orange spots. This is overwhelming because you get information overload. So you go into Google and you say, best soap making oils, and you get like so many different options. You're like, what am I supposed to do here? In order to solve this, all you need to do is understand formulation. Can I replace olive oil with canola oil? Well, linoleic acid is one of those acids that is very prone to oxidation, meaning that it goes rancid very, very fast. And you know how that looks like? It looks like this. It's what leads to these orange spots right here, otherwise known as dreaded orange spots. The soap, it's still safe to use, but it has these orange spots right here that are not aesthetically beautiful and they have a bit of rancidity smell. So you should remember, the higher concentration of linoleic acid, the more likely it is that my oil is going to go rancid, and the more likely it is that my oil is going to develop these dreaded orange spots. So when you see some really fancy oils out there like grapeseed oil, you're like, wow, that sounds amazing. Well, it has one of the highest concentrations of linoleic acid and a very high chance that the moment you buy it and use it in soap, it will turn rancid. And then you realize that what you want from these type of oils, whether it's canola oil, olive oil, avocado oil, rapeseed oil, grapeseed oil, you want conditioning properties. But the problem is, for some of them, you pay more money and all you get is an oil that will go rancid very, very soon. About avocado oil, I love using avocado oil, but unfortunately, avocado oil is no different than olive oil. Originally, it does have some extra nutrients, some extra vitamins and antioxidants that are not there in olive oil. But here's the problem. When those nutrients are under the high alkaline environment of saponification, where you have very high pH, because in order for saponification to happen, you need oils and lye. And because of lye, you have a very high pH, meaning that your whole reaction is very alkaline. In this environment, in this alkaline environment, most of these nutrients are degraded. So you're basically paying more for nothing. So one of my favorite oils to use for conditioning properties is olive oil. And this is the one that I've been repeating myself, and I've been using over and over and over again. You can also use macadamia oil. Macadamia oil is very unique oil because it has both oleic acid and palmitic acid, but it's a bit more expensive depending on where you live, of course. High oleic sunflower oil is also a good substitute. It's basically sunflower oil with high concentration of oleic acid, because normal sunflower oil will lead to dreaded orange spots, as we saw before. I'll tell you something. We can literally categorize all soap making oils into 4 categories. Number 1 is conditioning properties. So this is either olive oil, avocado oil, high oleic sunflower oil, and all of the other oils we just mentioned. Those are the ones that create conditioning and gentle lather. Category number 2 is cleansing. You need something that creates bubbles, and for that you need an oil that has high concentration of lauric acid. These oils are usually coconut oil and babasu oil. Babasu oil has a lower concentration of lauric acid, so it's a bit more suitable for people with sensitive skin. Then you need, the third category is that you need something that gives creaminess. Creaminess can be shea butter, can be lard, can be beef tallow, can be cocoa butter. All of these butters, they give a lot of creaminess to your lather. And the fourth category is thickness. And this is standalone. It's basically something like castor oil that has a high concentration of ricinoleic acid, and it's able to provide a very rich and thick lather to your soap. By the way, if you want a detailed troubleshooting guide on how to avoid these pain points, as well as 15 tested recipes for soap making and other skincare products like deodorants, lip balm, massage candles, shampoos, and so on, I've put it all down in an ebook that you can find in the link in bio. Pain point number 2. I spent $30 on essential oils and my scent disappeared after 3 weeks. And honestly, raise your hand if this has happened to you. It has happened to me way too many times. And I'm very, very passionate about scent, because I know that scent is the first impression. It's whenever someone grabs one of my soaps, the first thing they do is smell it and see, how does it smell? So I would say it's one of the most important aspects of soap making. Here's the things that we need to remember here. When it comes to scent, you have 2 categories, essential oils and fragrance oils. Essential oils are natural. They are derived from herbs, flowers, and so on, some spices as well. Fragrance oils are synthetic. Fragrance oils are usually more stable than essential oils, so they are made specifically to survive saponification and to survive this very high pH and high temperature of saponification. When you buy fragrance oils, always make sure you buy fragrance oils without any phthalates or parabens, because those are hormonal disruptors. So when it comes to essential oils, they're natural, but they're degrading very, very easily. So what you want to do is that you want to identify the essential oils that evaporate and degrade easily, which is, for example, citrusy essential oils like orange essential oil, lemon essential oil that contain limonene, and limonene has a very low molecular weight, meaning that it evaporates really fast and it oxidizes really easily. So what you want to do in those cases is that you want to anchor your essential oils with a base note. A base note is something that has a high molecular weight and it evaporates very, very slowly, something like patchouli essential oil, which contains patchoulol, and patchoulol is very heavy and evaporates slowly. And the moment you mix patchouli with a citrus or a low molecular weight note, then you get a more long-lasting scent. And then if you want a soap that smells good even after a year, the best option would be either to use fragrance oils because they're more stable, or to combine fragrance oils with essential oils. Let's go to pain point number 3. And oh my god, pain point number 3, it's like one of the top ones in the comments. How do I avoid trace acceleration? So Comments like, my soap seized and I had to throw it away. Why did my butter get so thick so fast? I couldn't pour my soap. I added like an essential oil, like a resin or benzoin essential oil, and it thickened like mashed potatoes really fast. So let's understand first what causes trace acceleration. What causes trace acceleration is that you have certain ingredients in your essential oils or your fragrance oils that speed up saponification reaction. It happens so fast, your soap butter solidifies, and then you literally don't have time to pour it into the mold. We've all been there. There are a few things that you need to remember about trace acceleration. Essential oils, you have certain essential oils. Cinnamon really accelerates trace. Then you have some floral essential oils like jasmine, ylang ylang, geranium. They all accelerate trace. That doesn't mean that you should remove them. I use ylang ylang, I use geranium because I love these essential oils. But there is a technique to avoid trace acceleration even when you use those essential oils. Then fragrance oils, anything that contains vanillin or cinnamic acid, they are very prone to trace acceleration. My tips to avoid trace acceleration are working in low temperatures. So I like to mix my oils in lye solution at around 28 to 30 degrees Celsius to have more control over my soap butter. And then once I reach light trace and I'm almost ready to pour the soap butter into the mold, I will add my essential oil blend, very fast mix, and then pour it into the mold. So I will move very fast to avoid any trace acceleration. Bear in mind, if you're buying essential oils or fragrance oils from a trustworthy supplier, they will always indicate which ones accelerate trace and which don't. Let's go to pain point number 4, which has to do with cure time and insulation. My soap is very soft. I've been curing my soap for 4 to 6 weeks and it feels very slimy and very soft. So if you're making soap with a high concentration of olive oil, then you actually need to cure it for minimum 6 months. So if you only cure it for 4 weeks, it will feel very slimy and literally melt in your hands. That's because olive oil is high in oleic acid. Oleic acid is a very long fatty acid chain. It takes a long time to be converted into soap. So during those 6 months, oleic acid is converted into soap and water is evaporating so that you get a very hard and long-lasting bar. And it's one of the best bars to use, perfect for sensitive skin. I don't have sensitive skin, but I still love to use it because it has this very gentle lather and it's very long-lasting. While for normal recipes, you need around 4 to 6 weeks curing time. And regarding insulation, some soaps require insulation, some soaps don't require insulation. So soaps that are made usually with honey, juices, milks, they tend to overheat, so you have to actually either insulate lightly or not insulate at all. Otherwise your soap will crack on top. If you're making a soap with a high concentration of coconut oil, like a dish soap that has 100% coconut oil, or even a Himalayan salt soap that has high concentration of coconut oil coupled with a concentration of Himalayan salt, these soaps do not require any insulation, otherwise they will crack completely. When I make this soap, I always put it in the fridge after pouring for about an hour, otherwise I will get a cracked soap. So these were the 4 most common pain points that I've been reading through the comments. And I'll tell you this, guys, I love going through the comments on YouTube because I can see how passionate and curious people are. I love engaging and having discussions with you. I've been also learning a lot from you because some of you have been using some oils in your soaps that I've never used before. And you tell me your experience with it, so I really appreciate that. I love our discussions. I love this community that we're creating. I believe your comments is a place of value where you can find a lot of value about soap making. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I could add some value to you today, and I'll see you guys next time.